everyone, Victoria here. It's not a secret that real estate investing has created a lot of millionaires and billionaires. Being less risky than stock market, real estate has been attracting tons of investors with its lucrative profits. Today I will talk about how to join the club and outline all the steps that you need to take in order to buy your first rental investment property. So let's start. And the first thing is a down payment. Whether you have been thinking about acquiring real estate for some time now, or it is the first thing that came to your mind this morning, you need to know one important thing. Purchase of a rental property requires a down payment, assuming that you are not paying all cash for it. When you buy your first real estate property that you intend to occupy as a homeowner, you can get away even with 3.5% down, and in some cases no down payment at all. But it is different when it comes to investment properties. If you want to buy a rental investment property and not planning on living there, be prepared to have at least 20% down payment ready, and in some cases, depending on your financial situation, a lending financial institution might even want you to have up to 6 months of payments cash reserve, so start saving early. In addition to a down payment, there will be closing costs associated with buying real estate property. Depending on a property type, financial lender, type of a loan, and some other factors, closing costs will vary. But you should plan to spend approximately between 2 and 5% of a purchase price on closing costs. If you want to know more about buyers' closing costs, make sure that you watch my video specifically on that subject, where I outline all buyers' closing costs and break them down. I will link it above. Credit score definitely deserves to be mentioned here. Even if you are not ready to buy your first rental property yet, do find out what your credit score is. You can monitor your score through your credit card provider or get a free credit score at annualcreditreport.com. Keep in mind that mortgage lenders institutions use FICO credit scoring system. If you want to learn more about that, please make sure that you watch my video about FICO credit score. I will link it above. It is a great video that gives a thorough explanation of a FICO score and different ways how to increase it. In order to get best rates, you will want your credit score to be over 740. But if it is not, don't get discouraged. You should be able to get financing even with a lower credit score, such as in 600s. It will cost you more money in interest, but it is still possible to obtain. There are also plenty of tricks how to boost your credit score and increase it with time, if you follow a strict discipline. The best thing for you to do is find out what your credit score is, and depending on the number, develop a plan of action on how to boost it if it needs a boost. In order to get a better financing, it is also crucial to start early and plan ahead, because increasing credit or FICO score takes time and it does not happen overnight. Once you have your credit and FICO scores under control and have a down payment and closing costs saved up, the best thing to do is to speak with a lender. You will need to gather some documents such as tax returns for the past 2 years, bank statements, brokerage statements if you have any, and proof of income before that particular meeting. Always shop around for a mortgage, as interest rates will vary and closing costs will do as well. You need to get a pre-approval letter so you have it handy when you're ready to make an offer on a real estate property. Pre-approval letter will tell you how much financing you can get and what to expect. Why is it important to get a pre-approval letter? Well, first of all, in many cases, sellers will not even entertain an offer if it is not accompanied by a pre-approval letter. And secondly, you will save a lot of time and disappointment by knowing exactly how much money you can borrow, and will not be looking at properties that are outside of your budget. If you're not ready to start buying yet, but would like to know how much money you can borrow, you can always get pre-qualified. instead of pre-approved. You can ask your lender not to run your credit history and tell them your credit score instead. Based on that score and supporting documents, lenders should be able to give you an estimate. In between the first 3 steps, start educating yourself about real estate market. You will want to learn as much as possible about current real estate market conditions and about rental real estate market. Ideally, you want to buy an undervalued property with a great potential. When it's done during buyer's market, you will have an upper hand in negotiating a good deal. Also, research different areas and see which one will work best for you. The best areas in terms of investments are the ones that are up and coming, as properties appreciate there the most. I also think it's very important to ask yourselves some questions and be completely honest with yourselves. Where do I want to purchase my first investment rental property? Am I comfortable to be a landlord? Is it for me? Am I comfortable being a property manager, or will I need to hire someone? And now let's get in depth with all of those. The first question is where you want to buy your first rental property. I would highly recommend to buy somewhere close to you so you could get there in a hot minute if needed. Some investors buy investment properties out of state and even out of country, but usually those are investors with lots of experience and large real estate portfolios. Ideally, you want to be in a close proximity when you are just starting out, so you could attend to any matter in a timely fashion. In addition, you would not want to spend all that extra money on traveling, as it will eat on your profits. The second question is about you being comfortable being a landlord. Please keep in mind that you will need to be familiar with the most recent local and state tenant and landlord laws, as well as Fair Housing Act. And the third question you will need to answer is whether or not you will be managing your property yourself. How will you handle renovations and repairs if they need to be done? What will you do if something in your rental property breaks? If you decide to do everything yourself, then more power to you. If you are handy and are able to take care of most things yourself, you will be able to keep your profits and not to spend that extra money. But if you need to hire someone to have any work done or manage your property, prepare to pay. Once you know the area or a neighborhood you want to concentrate on, do a research first. You want to research the following things: percentage of owner-occupied properties versus rentals, average rent price, how many rental properties are on the market, how long does it take to rent out a similar rental property, neighborhood ratings, historic change in property values, whether it appreciates, depreciates, or stays unchanged, property taxes and how they have been changing historically. Once you're equipped with real estate knowledge and answers to all of those questions, and also when you have identified neighborhoods you would like to purchase in, start looking at properties. As far as the properties, I would probably pass on a fixer-upper when you are just starting out. If you don't know what you're doing, it might get very costly to do all the necessary repairs. I would also stay away from turnkey properties, as they are typically more expensive. I would look at properties with good bones and great potential that need some minor cosmetic changes and will not break the bank. Ideally, you will want to have a property that requires low maintenance and good rent to value ratio. If you are able to buy a rental property with a tenant already in place, that could be the best case scenario, and properties like that are available on the market. Just speak with your real estate agent about your needs. Once you identify a property of interest, run some numbers and figure out the price that would make sense for you to make your investment profitable. In order to determine your cash flow, you will need to estimate annual rental income and then estimate and account for the following operating expenses: mortgage, insurance, taxes, maintenance or common charges, homeowner association fees, property management fees, repairs, vacancy rate. Always calculate different scenarios, such as if your apartment goes vacant and stays vacant for some time, and some miscellaneous fees such as pest control or landscaping. Subtract operating expenses for rental income to arrive at an annual cash flow number. There are plenty of online rental calculators that you can use in order to determine that number. Once you have your annual net cash flow, you will be able to calculate your return on investment by dividing your annual net cash flow by the total amount of cash invested, such as down payment, closing costs, and any repair money. Return on investment is a financial metric that will help you to determine how profitable your investment property might be. If everything makes financial sense, make an offer, hopefully get an accepted offer, and you will be almost done. Don't forget to conduct an inspection before you close. Inspection findings can give you another chance to negotiate price down if there are substantial issues with the property, or in some cases, even to get out of a purchase contract if purchase is contingent on inspection findings. Don't forget to allocate some time and money for a renovation or a cosmetic makeover in case your rental property needs one. Always speak with several contractors and get at least 3 quotes on each renovation service needed. And voila! Once it's all done, you're ready to list your property for rent, find your tenants, and start collecting rent money. I hope this video was useful for you guys. Owning real estate rental properties can be a lucrative way that will help you to generate passive income. Rent should be enough to cover your mortgage and other property expenses, and with time, not only you will be generating passive income, but you will also have equity built. Once your property appreciates in value, you can always sell it for a nice profit. Remember that you always want to be cash positive when owning rental real estate investments. Your worst case scenario could be the break even, but never less than that. Otherwise, it would not make any sense to buy a rental property. So make sure that you plug in all the numbers and do your calculations. If you're interested in real estate, consider subscribing to my channel. I create videos on a weekly basis and choose topics that can be very helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please write them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button. If you're interested in selling or buying real estate and need help, please reach out to me so we can have a conversation. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.